Okay, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Take 10, I think we can begin.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm seeing, we have about 16 participants today. Welcome to our this very important topic today. It's about stress lah. Stress, in Chinese we call 压力. So we all face stress. I'm sure we all have stress. Even now I talking to you, online. I also feel stress. Okay. So now the topic is whether stress is good or bad for us. So a lot of people think stress is no good, it's unhealthy, can cause a lot of sickness or problem. But today topic we will discuss with you. We will tell you whether stress is healthy or not healthy for us. Okay. So there are some rules, before we start our discussion today. We ask for your support and cooperation to mute your microphone. Okay. Don't turn on your microphone. If you want to ask questions, we welcome any questions. Okay. Ask as many questions, ask difficult questions. Okay. If you can, ask difficult questions. Unmute your mic when you need to ask questions. We will come to the part when we will open up to the everyone, ask questions. Okay. Yes, we encourage you also to turn on your video, or not just your audio, but video also if need to. We want to see your handsome face and your beautiful face when you ask questions. Okay, just bear in mind that this session today is recorded. Okay, recorded. Okay, before we begin this discussion, okay, I call it discussion. I would like to ask for your, come together. Let's have a photograph taking session together. Housing, can you assist with this?
Yeah, sure. 3, 2, 1.
Done?
Yeah, done.
Okay, one more, is it? One more, One more?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, one more. Come.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks. Okay, thanks. Okay. Thank you, Housing, for the photo taking session. Housing is our coordinator. He is our photographer also, online photographer today, just for today. Okay, next one. Next slide, please. Very important. When we come to a discussion session, we need to know who our speakers. Okay. As you can see online, if you cannot see, just raise your hand. I see anybody raise hand. One of our speaker is my colleague here. Her name is Josephine. Josephine has been with us for more than 2 years. Okay. Yes, she has a degree in psychology. Okay, she studied human mind, human thinking. And she is one of our very active speaker. So she'll be doing the second part of talk. Well, I myself, I'm Teck Tian here. I am older, as you can see. I'm here. I am with the organization for more than 8 years. Yes, I'm trained in social work. I'm trained in gerontology as well. Okay, whatever we discuss here, if you find that there are some questions that are concerned about medical health issues, we strongly suggest that you may want to consult your doctors. Okay, consult a doctor if it's about medical health. Okay, so what we are telling you, what we're sharing with you today is for your information, just for information. Okay, yes. Okay, this is the important part. Now, what I'm trying to, every day we read newspapers, we saw this article in the Straits Times, okay? Straits Times article. You see this man, this boy here, sitting on the floor. He looks very stressed. He is thinking of something, something is in his mind. Something is concerning him, very, very worried, very, very panicked, very nervous. You can see this boy in the picture. And I can tell you one thing, that there is one study that is done in Singapore. And they found that in Singapore, our government actually spent a lot of money, a lot of money is how much now? If you can see here, it's about $3.1 billion Singapore dollar, which is about 18% of our healthcare expenditure, 18% is quite a big amount. On what? On the stress illness. Every year, about 18% of the health budget is spent on managing our stress illness every year. So meaning shows that stress is an issue that we must not neglect. We must not neglect. Okay? It's very high. In fact, if you look at what is written here, look at the text. We are one of the highest, in the 9 region. Okay, one of the highest in this region, in this area. Yeah, and we are just behind Australia. Australia is even higher, 18.8%. Okay, 18.8% of the budget is spent on mental health. But for Singapore, it's about 18%. There are other countries also very stressful one. Hong Kong, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, United Arab, and United Kingdom and America. Okay, thanks. Another newspaper, we show you a lot of newspaper articles. It's not just I talk, a lot of newspaper. So by today, this newspaper is called Today. IMH has done a study. Institute of Mental Health, they have studied and they found that COVID-19 has actually significantly affect the mental health of Singaporeans. COVID-19, and they studied more than 1,000 Singaporeans or people in Singapore. They found that 8.7% actually met this, have this thing called clinical depression, meaning they are diagnosed, they go and see doctor, they are diagnosed with depression. Yeah, 8.7% due to COVID-19. And 9.4% actually have clinical anxiety, very anxious, anxiety disorder, clinically diagnosed. And out of every 20 people here, about one has even thought of, suicide ideas. Okay, in the 2 weeks before people, the reporters or whoever, the researchers interviewed them. So this shows how serious depression is in Singapore and how COVID-19 has actually affected the mental health of the public. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, so today's discussion is a lot about what is stress. What is stress? Is stress good or bad? Is it healthy or unhealthy? Okay, and also we want to know how to find out, how to see how to tell whether a person, people have stress. There are signs you can tell. Okay, we are also going to discuss how stress can actually impact, that means affect our well-being. Okay, and if we have stress, how can we manage stress better? Okay. Okay, before I move on, I'm going to ask our participants just a question. What do you understand by stress? Anybody can answer? Anyone? Don't feel shy, please answer. If you think you can answer, what is stress? There's no right or wrong answer. Okay, stress in Chinese we call 压力 but what do you think of stress? Madam Teo.
Yes, yeah, okay, maybe something you cannot do it, then you feel stress.
Something you cannot do it. Such as, example?
Maybe, okay, for student, maybe it's the work. No, it's the study. And then for those adult, maybe it's the working area or what, I don't know how to say that. Okay.
What about retiree? 退休人士.
Yeah, maybe on health.
Health. So do you think our seniors,
lonely,
also got
lonely,
stress?
sometimes on lonely also.
Loneliness.
Yeah.
What about financial? What do you think?
Oh,
financial
yeah.
Stress?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe also. Good, Madam Zhang Yu Shi, very good. You're very participating in this. Very good.
But
what about
English not so good, that's why.
Oh, then you tell us. You speak Mandarin. 没问题, we can.
But you're talking. Yeah, this talk is English. That's why I thought Only can speak English.
Can. No
Okay,
issue.
sorry.
I thanks for your participation. I call another participant. Florence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it's out of anxiety. Anxiety and also like lack in confidence can cause stress as well.
Oh, no confidence also can cause stress, huh?
Anxiety mostly like not confident enough, and then you feel very stressed. So little bit, I mean as you just I explained in Mandarin 压力就是一点点你觉得哇你达不到那个标准，你就觉得 stress 了。
哇 ，OK， 就是压力哦。OK，
Anxiety.
Yeah. Thank you for your participation. Maybe I call a gentleman, Mr. Tan Sing Seng. Mr. Tan 有在吗？Mr. Tan is online, but no response. Maybe I call another gentleman. Thanks for the participation. Okay, I call maybe I call this let me see. Okay, I cannot find a gentleman. I think okay, maybe I look for Shirley. Shirley Lim. No response. Okay. Somebody said Toto no touch, never win Toto is stress. I saw in the chat group. Okay. So spend money Toto, buy big. Okay, come. How's it next? Okay, actually, what Madam Florence and our Madam who mentioned just now is totally correct, Yeah, it's not wrong. Okay, stress, you can see there's 4 boxes here. A, B, C, D. Okay. A is when we feel very, very pressure. Very, very pressure. Everything, work pressure, financial pressure, love pressure, friendship pressure, everything also pressure. Let me tell you, stress come already, okay? Okay, or when we think that, hey, certain things something we cannot control, okay? We cannot control, right? Something that happens, it just happens suddenly. Something happened at home or whatever, or maybe a doubt, maybe something the company restructure or whatever, the adult, the worker is being retrenched or whatever. It's not beyond your control, so feel very stressed, worried what to do next, Okay, or when something change, the person cannot manage the change. He feels very anxious, anxiety. He has to struggle very hard. He cannot cope already. Again, he asks himself, why? Or it can be all of the above. Anything, it can be A, or it can be B, or it can be C, or it can be A plus B plus C equals to D. So that is what I call stress. Okay? Yes. Okay, so stress, like what Madam Josephine and our under Madam Zhang Yisi also say, stress can be physical stress, can be your mental stress in your mind, can be your emotional stress. You feel very tense, you feel you're not feeling well, okay, because something changed in your life, a big change, okay, sometimes also a small change, and your body cannot react, cannot respond to the change. You don't know how to cope already, like what with ABCD just now. And because of that, we feel very, very tense. The important one is tension. If you can see, there's a tension there, TENSION. So there's this box here, you can see a woman standing there in a mountain. It says stress is not what happens to us. No, it's not something that happens to us. It is how we respond to what happens, how we respond to the event. Okay, some people can respond well. To them, the problem is manageable. But different people, they respond differently. They cope differently. So if they cope differently, those who cannot cope well, they will feel very stressed. Okay, but response, again, is something we can choose. You can choose to respond confidently. Like just now, we say no confidence. Someone said that. If you choose to think positively, you respond confidently, you can manage it. Okay? Next slide.
Mindset. I think the mindset.
Mindset, right? Your mindset, right? If you tell yourself you very stressed, cannot do already. Oh, sure die one. Sure cannot one. Then you will lack confidence already. Yeah. So it becomes unhealthy. Okay. So I'm going to ask the next question now. Do you think stress is good or bad? That means it's healthy or unhealthy? Okay, good versus bad stress. Maybe I asked Madam just now, Zhang 女士 again. Yeah.
Both.
Both
Yes.
Okay, stress is good when, give me example. Do you have example of stress is good?
Maybe will make you work harder.
It will motivate you, right?
Yeah,
It will
Make us
encourage
work
you.
harder. Yes. Make us work harder, but bad is maybe we cannot cope with. And then you feel very pressure.
Yeah. Like one just now somebody mentioned is your mindset.
Okay.
I think
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Madam, you mentioned mindset.
Can I share in Mandarin? 压力可以变成动力. So it's up to your mindset. Stress can become can turn into motivation as well.
Wow, this is a very important sentence. 压力可以变成动力. Am I right? I heard that. Yeah. So 压力可以成为激励 also, right? 激励 continue to encourage you to work harder also. Yeah. Thanks, Madam, for sharing. So stress, the answer is can be good, can also be bad. Okay? Can be good and can also be bad. Next slide. Thank you. See, you look at this picture. These three gentlemen, they all look very stressed, right? If I don't look at the text, the words there, I think they are stressed. Okay, but let me tell you something. Don't worry, stress is a very normal feeling. If you don't have stress, if all of us here, the 19 or 20 of us all don't have stress, then it is abnormal. Sure got stress one. Or just like when I come here and I was asked to do this talk, I also stress, I want to know who are the participants, I want to know maybe you really got experience, maybe you talk better also, so I feel very stressed. So, but let me tell you, it's in the mindset. If there's this thing called eustress, positive stress, meaning you see stress positively, like what somebody said just now. 压力 is a 动力, something like that, your mindset. If you think that stress is good, stress motivates you to work harder, then your morale will be stronger. Then I can tell you, stress is not an issue. It's not an obstacle to us, okay? But however, you look at the center, the middle picture, this gentleman here, if you see stress as something make you feel very anxious, very pressurized, then stress is no good. Okay, stress is no good. Why it happens to me? But if you see stress again as extreme, extreme is even worse. It's not just feeling anxious. It's very, very anxious. Very, very painful, and very, very sorrow. Let me tell you, there's this term today we learn. I also learned distress. Distress is a very powerful word. Distress. Okay. So you can see on the left hand side, positive stress, good. Okay, then slowly to the second and the picture is bad. Okay, next slide, thank you. So just now I say, eustress, the picture on the left hand side is positive mindset. It benefits us, it motivates us, good for your health. You work harder, you want to achieve better performance. Okay, it is good for your emotion. You feel better when you're happy, you're healthy. Not just physically healthy, but mentally healthy as well, and emotionally healthy. Thanks. But some people ask, hey, better when no stress, right? But is it really good when your life is no stress? Is it really good? If today, every day we are here, we wake up, You know, we are not worried about anything at all. Okay? Do you think life will be very boring? Very sian, they always say, Or do you think life, no meaning, every day, no stress, wake up, everything, everything is there for me, everything's sweet, beautifully, or everything done for me. Then, life, there are no challenges. When there are no challenges in life, how are we going to feel motivated to work harder? Then we lost the productivity, right? You cannot do things, everything is done for us, no stress at all. Then life becomes inactive. It becomes very stagnant already. Okay, very monotonous. There no stress. So that is why the picture on the right hand side just now, that is a very unhealthy one. Okay, that's kind of stress we don't want. Okay, we don't want that kind of stress. Very unhealthy. Okay, it is extremely too much worry, too much concern, too much fear, too much anxiety. Okay, everything no good one. Then we become very exhausted and very tired. Okay, we feel not comfortable, and then all kind of illness come already, attack us. Okay, no illness also can be have illness, thing. Okay, and we don't perform well, lousy performance already. Okay, so it is therefore important for us to know that actually stress can be caused by external stress. That means outside, not beyond beyond is a big one, okay, or internal, something in our mind. Okay, I give you some examples also here. Okay, external stress, something has happened in our life, a very big event. Okay, something really happened. For example, maybe like what I say, the life has changed. Maybe somebody in the family suffer something or whatever, or maybe the business that a person run no bankrupt, whatever. It happens, it affects us, so we feel very stressed. Okay, the environment, the toxic environment. Okay, or when the person feels very sick. Okay, very sick, and then he also feels stressed. Okay, see doctor also cannot cure. He feel very stressed. Okay, well, when money is very tight for him, he feels stressed also. Okay, or work pressure every day. Got to rush the work. Got KPI to meet. Got deadline to meet. Then cannot meet deadline. Got to work overtime. Then feel stress also. These are all the external one. I hope it doesn't happen to us. Okay, internally, yes. In my mind, if I feel internally, I feel stressed. I keep on telling myself, jialat liao. A lot of changes coming. I don't want change. I want to remain the same. But I scared change. That means everything becomes different for me. I got to start new again. Or I have very high expectation. Everything I want to be perfect. I want to be Mr. Perfect. The last one, perfectionism. Or I keep talking negatively to myself. Life is pessimistic. Life is very gloomy. So I feel very stressed also. And something also that I cannot control, lack of control already. I beyond control. I cannot control, then I cannot do anything. I feel stressed also. Okay, so it's important to know your internal and your external stressors. Okay. You see, stress got all kind of different description. Got internal, external. Got just now, I call distress, all kind of stress, positive stress, all this. But acute stress also. Acute stress is short-term one. It comes and it goes away. Disappear very fast. Okay. It can be something that when we do something that's new. I try a new activity. Okay. It comes and then it goes. I feel stressed because I cannot manage. But very fast, I manage already. My stress over. Okay. Example here, step on the brake, feel very stressed, very fast, but it goes. Okay, disappear. What is more concerned is chronic stress, because chronic stress can be ongoing. Okay, it will remain in your mind for a very, very long time. Okay, can be weeks, can be even longer. And if chronic stress, we don't take action, to manage your stress, it may harm our health. Okay, no good. So this picture, you see, on the left-hand side is how we react to stress. On the right-hand side, you look at the man, he is putting on a smiling face, how we respond to stress. So there is a difference, okay? When I say react to stress, when stress, something happens to us, very bad things happen, okay, automatically you say, why this happened, you know? It's a very fast kind of thing, you know? It's like he feels that he lost his emotion, okay? He becomes very emotional, okay? It is a very fast reaction, but he never think of actually how he can better manage the stress. So if I react to stress, if I am a reactor, I become very panicked, okay? But if I am a responder, okay, I will just think stress, yes, it is manageable. Something has happened, I will sit down, stay calm, and think of how to actually strategies to manage the stress better so that things can move on smoothly. I do a lot of planning, okay? Next slide, yeah. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions? Any questions? I think, yeah.
No.
Okay, no question. I hope you understand. Stress got many names. Can be chronic stress, acute stress, positive stress, distress, and all kind. But don't worry, it is about stress. Just know that stress can be bad or good stress, healthy or unhealthy stress. Okay. Now I will hand it to my next speaker is Josephine. She will continue to share with you what are the signs of stress. Josephine, please.
Hello everyone, thank you, Ken. Okay, so now I'll move on to how you can identify signs of stress. Like, let's say, for example, if you see your friends or even you yourself, sometimes you may be experiencing some sort of symptoms, but you're not sure of why you are. Okay, so the first one that I'll be talking about is on the emotional stress. Okay, so sometimes when you feel that you get irritated very easily, and then you lose your temper easily. So this is when you are stressed. So like, let's say, for example, normally you're not so emotional, and then when during stressful moments, you actually find yourself being very angry, and this is when you notice that you are stressed. Okay, so there will also be excessive guilt sometimes, and also sometimes it may cause depression and anxiety when you're in chronic stress. And some of us, it's the way we cope. So for example, when stressful things happen, the way that we cope is to freeze. So we become very numb to any emotions. So like, let's say anything big happens, your coping mechanism is just to not feel anything. Okay, so on the cognitive front, when we are stressed, we tend to make very poor decisions. Okay, and for example, let's say when our friends are talking, our family talking to us, we are not able to really concentrate on what they're saying. And on the physical front, when we are actually in the stressful periods, we would be easily exhausted, and we'll feel fatigued. Yeah. So some of us may actually also experience weight loss or weight gain. And also, and even when you are not exercising or doing vigorous activities, you also experience muscle aches and pains. And some of us will also experience headache, which is a very common symptom. And also some of us may also experience insomnia, which means that we won't be able to fall asleep easily at night. Okay, so now I'll move on to the impacts of prolonged stress. So how chronic stress will actually have long-lasting impacts. So on our mental health, like what I've mentioned earlier, so previously we actually say that chronic health would actually lead to, chronic stress will lead to depression and anxiety. And for physically, when we have prolonged stress, we would, there's a higher risk of getting a high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, and also some of us may also break out in rash, so it will cause eczema or skin problems. And emotionally, like what I've said earlier on as well, there will also be some feelings of anger, of jealousy, and also apathy is actually the lack of feeling anything, lack of emotions. And so what we want to emphasize is that if you have already a chronic health condition, chronic stress can actually make it worse. Okay, so how do we manage stress? Okay, this is important for us. Okay. So we move on to the next part where we talk about stress management. So knowing how to take care of ourselves can also help us to manage our stress better. And there are 3 categories of self-care. So first is to take care of yourself physically, next is emotionally, and third is socially. Okay, so first we'll talk about physical self-care. So having enough sleep is essential for our health. Typically, an adult, we need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day. But of course, it differs from one individual to another. So some of us may require less or more depending on our own body clock, the sleep quality that we are having, and also the activities that we do throughout the day. So the most important thing is that so long as we feel well rested, that is your optimum hours of sleep. And so why is having enough sleep so important? So sleeping is when our body resets. So it cleans the brain of toxins. It helps to restore our physical state and it strengthens our immunity. And also it helps us to process information that we receive throughout the day. And sleeping, most importantly, helps us to regulate our mood. And with better mood regulation, helps us to perceive the stress triggers better, like what Teck Tian has shared, and to respond to it accordingly. Okay, so next, eating a balanced meal is also an important part of taking care of our physical health. So actually earlier in July, we gave a talk on healthy eating. Anyone attended the talk? I actually see some familiar names. Okay, yeah, so if I have enough time, I will have asked some of y'all to share what you have learned. But due to time constraints, I'll be doing a recap of the talk. Okay, so based on the Health Promotion Board, they actually came up with this campaign called My Healthy Plate. So according to the rule, it's called quarter, quarter, half. So it is recommended that in a meal, we should fill a quarter of our plate with whole grains, a quarter with protein, and half of it with fruits and vegetables. So when we talk about whole grain, it actually means brown rice, wholemeal bread, oats. While protein means like our meat products. For those of you who are vegetarian, you will get your source of protein from soy products like tofu and tempeh. And we also want to encourage all of you to have meals at regular timings. Okay, so for those of you who eat your meals at home, we want to choose healthier cooking methods and oils. And we also encourage you to consume a variety of food that gives us different types of nutrients. So when we snack at home in between meals, so sometimes it's very easy, just reach out for the nearest and easiest food to eat. For example, your biscuits, the unhealthy ones, or some of you who live with your family, sometimes your children also buy snacks like potato chips and it's very easy to reach for these because they are also tasty as well, full of salt. And so instead of reaching out for these unhealthy biscuits that are full of trans fats, we want to encourage you to choose the nutrient-dense snacks such as nuts, wholemeal biscuits, oats, and yogurt. Because but of course, everything should also be consumed in moderation because too much of a good thing is also bad. And for a reminder to every one of us that we should drink more water on a daily basis. Okay, so has anyone seen these labels before? Open up the question to the floor. Anyone can respond.
Yes.
Madam Teo, where have you seen it before?
Supermarket.
Supermarket. Yes.
Those canned food or should be canned food or oil. Those oil.
Yes, that's good. Yes. So typically these food symbols are actually found in the food products in the supermarket, like what you have said, those canned food, under the biscuit, all the dry food sections, biscuits, they actually have all these symbols, and these symbols are actually known as our healthier food symbols. And these healthier food symbols are sometimes also seen in your hawker center stores, hot stores. Thank you, Madam, for sharing.
Thank you.
Less salt, less oil.
Yes. So these
less sweet.
Less sweet, less salt, less oil. Thank you.
So encouragement is when you get a product from Fair Price with this logo, you have the QR code scanning into 365.
Oh yes, you can also
very good encouragement,
Yes, the 365 app, right? Well, thank you, Madam Florence, for sharing. So yes, like what Madam Florence has said, so when we see these kind of food symbols, we want to encourage all of you to opt for them because they are healthier, less oil, less unhealthy oil, less sugar, less salt. Okay, so but then not all of us also cook, and sometimes we also eat out, right, when we get too tired. So there are ways to make your hawker food healthier also. So I won't be touching on all of them. I'll pick some of the favorites, okay? Okay, the most common one that Singaporeans always eat, chicken rice. Okay, so usually when we eat chicken rice, we would just it's healthier to opt for the chicken breast and also without the skin. And also to avoid the soup base, because when all this soup, it actually contains all the salt and MSG and it's very unhealthy for us. And also we just because we know that they usually only give us a few slices of cucumber, only 2 or 3, and so if we want to eat more vegetables, we can actually ask them to add on more. And okay, let's see. Okay, let's go to another common one, which is the economic rice. Okay, your cai fan. Okay, so this when we order, we can also opt for the lightly stir-fried lean meat and also opt for more vegetables. And we can usually cut down on the gravy or avoid the gravy at all because they are usually heavy in the salt and sugar, and that's why it's so tasty. And also try to avoid the fatty portions of the food as well. And next, for example, the wonton noodle soup or the prawn noodle soup. So these are actually soup-based dishes. Okay, so like what I've mentioned earlier, in the soup and the gravy, that's where it contains all the salt and sugar. So sometimes we don't have to, we can eat it in a moderation and just not drink up all the soup. Okay. Okay, so next, I'll move on to another part of taking care of yourself physically, and that's exercising. Okay, so it also helps us to manage our stress. So exercising helps to improve our mood, and so when we engage in aerobic exercises, so these are actually exercises that provide cardiovascular conditioning. So it involves like our heart and deep breathing. So when we do these exercises, it actually helps to produce endorphins in our brain, and that is actually the feel-good chemicals. And next, it also increases our heart rate, you know. So let's say when we walk faster or we engage in a more intense exercise, it actually, when our heart rate increase, right, it actually triggers this hormone, which is not important. You don't have to know exactly what it is. It's called norepinephrine. So it is produced in our brain, so that when this chemical is released, it actually helps our brain deal better with stress more effectively. And also apart from that, exercising also help to increase the blood flow to our brain as well. So we are better able to regulate our stress. Okay, so when we say exercise, we also don't only mean like the intense exercising, like going for a run or going to the gym. So brisk walking is also considered to be part of an exercise. For those of you who find it very hard to run, especially because it's so impactful on the knees, right? And so walking is also considered, and we recommend taking a walk for 30 minutes a day. So other stress relieving methods also include like practicing deep breathing, doing yoga, meditating, or also to engage in your activities that you enjoy. Okay, so next we'll move on to the emotional self-care. So other than your physical, taking care of yourself physically, taking care of yourself emotionally is also very important. Okay, so the first one is on reflection and being organized. Okay, so over here it says that creating a habit of becoming aware of yourself and how you feel, and also how your attention shifts from one thing to another. It helps us to regulate our thoughts and actions to avoid burnout. Okay, so reasons to reflect. Why it's important to always be in reflection of yourself, being aware of your emotions. So one thing that we can do is to take a break. Okay, so we know that Singapore always efficiency is very appreciated in the country, but sometimes most of the time it's very important for us to take a break in these stressful times. And also, let's say when we, it's also very important to evaluate our actions and to celebrate from all the small wins that we do, and also learn from our mistakes. And next, we can also learn to set priorities. So focus on what is important. So there are so many things to do in a day, right? And sometimes it's also impossible to do everything in a day. So like with the limited time that we have, it's very important to set the priorities, and we want to focus on what's important, the people that we love, the things that we like to do. And because it's impossible to care about everyone's what they think of you, or for example of things that are not important. And also we want to normalize asking for help, okay, because it is not embarrassing, and it is something that we can do. Because like, let's say, and we are faced in stressful situations, and let's say we feel embarrassed to ask for help, and then in the end we will just stress ourselves even more. And asking for help is not disgraceful, or and it's okay. Yeah. And okay, so for example, and saying no gracefully is also important. So it's important for us to build boundaries. Okay, so for example, sometimes when you come home from work and you are so tired already, but your friend asks you to go down to the senior activity center to go and attend some exercise session, and then you just finish work and you are so tired, and after that you may have to cook for your grandchildren as well. So, and of course we also don't want to lose our friends also, because they are an important part of our lives. So we can learn how to tell them no, and say that you're very tired, and I'm sure and your friends will understand that. Okay, so the next thing that we can do is also to choose to focus on what is within our control. So yeah, many things happen every day, and most of the time is not what we want it to be. So there are things that we can't control. So what we can control is our emotions, the way that we react to respond to the stress triggers. That's what's important. And it's also good to look for the good in others and also yourself. When we see the good in other people, we're actually less likely to be irritated. Let's say if they happen to accidentally do something that might trigger us. Okay, so the next part of how we can take care of ourselves emotionally is journaling. So mindful journaling helps to sharpen our focus and also to increase our positive thoughts. Okay, so for example, when stress happens, right, and sometimes it's very easy for us to spiral, because one thought can lead to another, and this whole feeling can be overwhelming. And so it's good to be very mindful of our stress triggers. So let's say journaling helps us to observe our thinking patterns. So we are mindful of our stress triggers, and also how, let's say when a stressful incident happened, and then after that your thought patterns, you're able, when you write it down, you're actually able to see it. Because sometimes everything happens in our mind, and without writing it down, we are not aware of it. Okay, so the next one is called gratitude journaling. So this means that, for example, every day you write something good that you are grateful for, something in your life that you're grateful for. So it doesn't have to be something like a big, it can be something like, oh, the weather is good today, and I can go out for a walk, or today my grandchildren is coming, so I get to speak to them and I'm grateful for that. So it can be all these very small things, and research has actually shown that people who take on a very grateful mindset has actually a better emotional health, and also in terms of stress management, they're able to deal with stress better. Okay. So likewise, journaling can also be used to set goals. So we can set the short-term goals that you can reach, and also reward yourself for whenever you meet them. Okay, and the third part of emotional self-care is mindfulness practice, which is meditation. And so these practices usually involve like sitting in silence and the deep breathing exercises. Okay, and the next part of emotional self-care is creativity. So research has shown that actually being creative or having creativity in your life will actually help us to manage stress better. And how can we actually achieve that? And we can actually do activities that brings us joy, and listening to music that we like, reading, and exploring art and craft. And so let's say, for example, for those of you who really enjoy art and craft but don't have these art materials, you can actually head down to the nearest senior activity center when they actually hold art and craft sessions, and over there you'll be able to do it with a group of people, and to just really invoke this creative mind of your own. And the last one is to laugh, and that's like to look for humor in your everyday life. Like, for example, you watch a funny video. For example, if you have a friend who always tells jokes, and it's also good to hang around people who have humor. Okay, and the last part about self-care is social self-care. Okay, so importantly, our friends and family, they form the core of our social support. So we encourage you to spend time with your loved ones who can support and encourage you, because there are ups and downs in our lives, and of course, during times where not so when times are not going good for you, is also good for you to be surrounded in the people who can support you. And next, you can also look for support group where you're able to find your friends, group of people with similar experiences or interests, and it's always a joy to hang around them, because you're able to seek advice from them and find comfort in the interactions. Okay. So after talking so much, I'm sure that all of you also have your own experiences, your own strategies on how you can deal with stress. Anyone want to share how you usually cope with stress?
Okay, I want to say something about, okay, sometimes stress is caused by, like, there's an issue that you cannot settle, but stress comes when you indwell, when you keep dwelling on that matter, that kind of issue, or that you can, if there's no solution, then don't keep, like in Mandarin you call it what you call that in Mandarin is wait, let me think of it. That means like 钻牛角尖 you know what I mean? That means you know that you cannot come out of it, then don't indwell it. That means 一直钻牛角尖 then you get stressful, and then the whole of your body system will be upset already. That's what I'm trying to say now.
So what
牛角尖 meaning that,牛 is a kind of indwelling that means, that then you must learn how to come out of it. Then that means you are like surrounding yourself with the four walls, in the frame, 在那个框框里面，你跑不出那个框框哦。This is part of indwelling. Must learn how to come out from that kind of situation. Okay, so this is one way to de-stress.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Florence. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I'll try to rephrase it for you. So when you are saying that, let's say, for example, when you are faced in a stressful situation, and it is also unhealthy to keep dwelling on it, to be stuck in the situation, you keep thinking about it. Is that right? So important to come out of the parts where you keep dwelling.
The solution is that what you have shared, just all those are the very good points to take note. Like you talk to a friend, someone you can trust, pour out the problem. Then you feel you're lighter, and the person, of course, the person must not keep your secret lah. There's somebody, and somehow can sort of help you come out of that. You need friends. This type of situation, you really need somebody to talk to. Then you feel better. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you, Madam Florence. Thank you for sharing. So I think like what Madam Florence have said, social support, like the support that the people you surround with yourself is very important, and they are actually able to help you come out of that dwelling state that you're in. And apart from your social support, also like what I mentioned, journaling or writing it down, or for example, for those of you who are also not really familiar with writing, you can actually use the voice message to store on your phone. I know now the phones are very advanced.
Very smart. Smartphone.
Smartphone.
Smarter than, as my niece says, smarter than I.
Smarter than humans sometimes.
Yeah.
And thank you, Madam Florence. Anyone else? Maybe I just have one more person to share, and I think we are nearing. It's already 3 o'clock. Anyone else would like to share? Okay. Okay. Due to time constraints, we would say actually we have a short video, but let's say if any of you who are interested in watching the video, we like drop us a note and we will share it with you later. I'll let you know the contact numbers. Due to time constraint, we will have to skip this video today. And okay, last part about any question and answers. I think we can take one more, and if not, you're able to send any queries to us, and we'll actually be able to answer you then. Okay, and maybe Housing, you can also send the evaluation form. So my colleague Housing will be sending an evaluation form, so you can let us know how the talk went today and what improvements you would like to see, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and we'll be very happy to know your feedback.
Yeah, I posted the link in the chat box. So
See.
Yeah.
Okay. While you're actually filling up the feedback form, we can also okay, so these are actually the contact details. You can also take them down, these contact details of my team, Housing and Ellen Yong, and these are their numbers. So let's say if you want to know more about today's topic, or also have any questions on it, you just send in their questions to them. Thank you, everyone. Okay, before everyone goes, let us take a photo together, one more after the end of the talk. Okay, can everyone turn on their camera one more time?
3, 2, 1. Hold on one more. 3, 2, 1. All right, I've taken a picture.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Ready Must TT has something to share as well.
Yeah, so this QR code is for the passion card points. Scan it for today. If you scan in the morning, you don't need to scan now today. You don't have to scan again.
Undo cruise tab.
I'm using phone now. How do I scan this one? Because
You
I
screenshot.
just came back from outside. I can't. Oh,
You
I cannot
screenshot
use-
the screenshot the screen.
screenshot lah.
Yeah,
Then?
then you can just use the Google Lens to very easily scan from there. Can just
From
scan
here,
from your gallery.
I click on Google Lens.
Yeah, Google Lens you can just scan from your gallery.
Oh, I try later. I sort of download the Google Lens already. Otherwise, I got to take from I got
Are
to
you
take from
interested
laptop.
to caregiver support?
A lot of things must learn to know. Until
The
一知
on
半解。
conducting the online performance was conducting or conductive.
Who's talking? Yeah, online.
Interesting. CONTCN. Yes. To continuous issue for mental.